Good evening. Through the hard work and innovation of Town Manager John Mangiarotti and town staff, we have persevered through a once-in-a-lifetime public health crisis. Beginning in March 2020, budget controls were implemented, including hiring and spending freezes. These controls resulted in substantial expense turnbacks at the end of the June 30, 2020 fiscal year, which helped to shore up our reserves. However, these controls left many positions unfilled, and many normal expenses and programs were deferred or discontinued. The Select Board is very proud of the way all our employees have met these challenges and have continued to provide excellent services to our community. The town received from the federal government a direct allocation of CARES coronavirus relief funds of $2,092,925. These funds were utilized among the town, the regional school district, the Minuteman Vocational Regional School District to cover all unbudgeted expenses related to responding to the pandemic. This included funding for a community food program the schools undertook to address food insecurity issues in town. As the pandemic was declared a federal disaster, the town was able to gain reimbursement from FEMA for many of our expenses. As a result of this funding support and financial controls imposed, John Mangiarotti is projecting a turnback at the end of the June 30, 2021 fiscal year, which will again replenish our reserves. Recently, we were notified the town will receive $6.9 million under the American Rescue Plan Act in direct relief to help support our response and recovery efforts over the next 3 years. Details are forthcoming on how these funds may be used. A further note to the community, from CARES funds we have established a rental assistance program that has provided $85,349 to help 39 households and a mortgage assistance program of $14,278 that aided 8 property owners. In FY20, we provided $603,618 in exemptions for property tax relief to residents, a 90% increase over the past 5 years. For those Acton residents 60 and older, the Senior Worker Program increased the hourly compensation rate to $15 per hour and hours of work per fiscal year to 110. There is $85,000 in new funding in the FY22 proposed budget to address issues surrounding diversity, equity, and inclusion. The request includes a needs assessment and recommendations for the preferred way of incorporating a diversity officer position into the town's organizational structure. Mental health resources were increased for our professional and highly regarded police department. The entire department trained in mental health first aid through an 8-hour class, and 80% of the department trained 40 hours in crisis intervention training and collaborates with Elliott Mental Health Services. Through a reallocation of staffing resources in several department budgets, a sustainability director position was created to build on the groundswell of support for a greener, more resilient Acton. The recommended municipal operating budget for FY22 is $36,617,835, a 2.8% increase over FY21, and is generally consistent with Finance Committee recommendations related to operating budget increases. As part of the FY22 Capital Improvement Plan, we are proposing in Article 4 at town meeting, borrowing authorization for $3,117,000 in general funds projects which result in debt service costs of $213,997. In Article 3 At town meeting, we are proposing $601,000 in capital projects and maintenance items to be funded from existing reserves within the operating budget. As set out in the accompanying slide, the total request, including recommended capital and subsidies to enterprise funds, is $807,832, a 2.6% increase over the total appropriations for FY21. Please note in Article 2, the requested amount town meeting will be voting on is $36,617,835 for municipal operations. The proposed budget is consistent with the Finance Committee's recommendation to limit the operating expense increase. For FY22, the Select Board and the Town Manager will maintain and improve upon our current level of municipal services and continue with additional efficiency measures, such as aggressively pursuing grants for capital expenditures. These measures, together with the fiscally responsible efforts of town management, shall allow us to continue to offer exceptional services, maintain the town's AAA bond rating, eliminate our remaining $16.1 million OPEB liability in less than 13 years, and for Acton to thrive as a vibrant, diverse, desirable place to live, work, and play. Thank you, and please support Article 2.